Hi everyone, and a big welcome back to the Northern Food and Drink Virtual Festival from me, Sean Noonan. And now I've got something very, very interesting and very unusual. I think more people should be doing very similar to what they're doing. So we're going to News and Deli, who are not just a corner shop. Hi, how are things?
Good morning.
So tell us a bit about News and Deli and the concept and how it come about.
So basically, it just comes out of a realization and need to support local producers. Sort of having a restaurant that we've had in the past, we realized how important it is to support local producers, and the way to do that is practice what you preach. So last year, I sort of helped set up not just a corner shop, where what we did is got together 29 initial participants, and we've got local producers from sort of 45 miles around Leicestershire, and yeah, it was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. Everyone sort of needs a platform, and the platform was there to be given in the corner shop.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously you have a little corner there with your general bits that you'd see in a corner shop, like your domestic household products and a couple of cereals I've seen with just basic, your core standard line. But other than that, everything in your shop is local and local producers and locally sourced. Can we have a little look around to see what we've got in there?
Yeah, let's have a little look around. So, morning. So yeah, we'll just sort of go around and show you. We've got sort of local bread from Hambleton Bakery.
So is that coming fresh to you?
Sorry?
That's coming fresh this morning for you?
Coming fresh every morning. It's baked at 4 o'clock, delivered to us by about 7:30. And we've got local eggs, which actually have never run out, even during the sort of COVID crisis, because when you go direct to producer, it's actually a lot easier. You know what you're getting, you know when you're not getting it. If they're struggling with logistics, if I pick up, and at one point we were picking up sort of twice a day, and it sort of helps when.
So while all these big boys are struggling, you've got the stock for the customers you need.
Well, yeah, this is it, because the thing is, when you are direct to producer, you don't have a problem with working just with the wholesalers. You can call people and say, right, I really need 50 kilos of flour or 60 dozen eggs, and you get an immediate answer, yes or no. And that immediate answer also means that if you can go and collect it off them, it means that you have product straight away. There was a point during sort of when people were stockpiling, we were going to these producers 2, 3, 4 times a day, and that just meant that everyone got what they needed when they needed it. It might have meant that we had to sort of put in a little bit more effort, but everyone got what they needed.
Oh, that's amazing. So you stock a lot of local spirits as well then?
Yep. So we've got just down there, we've got Burley's Gin. Then we've got Two Birds. Then as you go up, there's Rothley Wine, which is really local. Then if you go further down, you've got beer, which is from Melton. Then there's sort of more beer as you go along, and then there's some cider. So bits of everything. You've got sort of Charnwood cider, Simply cider, which is Market Harbour based. Then you've got as we go around the shop, we've got local milk and local milkshakes from Vine Farm Dairy, which is just towards Melton Mowbray. Then we've got locally made cakes. Then we've got locally made chocolate bars, locally made Scotch eggs, if you'll see them.
I've just seen them on your website. They look absolutely amazing, them.
They are phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal. I'm not normally a sort of Scotch egg type of fan, but they are like absolutely phenomenal.
And something you haven't mentioned actually is the jars of sauces. You don't have your standard Uncle Ben's and your swabs and stuff like things like that. You've got homemade curry sauces and things like that on your shelf.
So let me just show you the curry sauces. So you've got curry sauces made very locally. As you can see, they've already been depleted this morning. We've got different types of curry sauces, and they're made about 6 miles away. Then we've got jams and pickles, and more jams and pickles just there. And then to make it really exciting, this stuff here has actually got a real nice story. So these are Driver's Pickle. They're actually now international, but they're made not very far away from our shop. But the lady, I think it's 3 or 4 doors down from the actual house, from the shop. She's the granddaughter of the original person that started Driver's Pickles and Sauces.
Oh, that's amazing, that. But yeah, you guys do a lot within the community and help the charities as well within the community, don't you?
Yeah, so I'm a big believer that you've got to give back to the community that gives you so much. So we work very closely with Leicester Food Bank, in effect trying to equalize. We have a lot of people that want to do good, but they don't know how to. So all we're trying to do is connect the dots. There are people out there that want to do things to help their own community, but they don't know where to do it. And we just provide a little box, and I'll just show you the little box down here. It was just emptied this morning with about sort of 45 items of food. And then in addition to that, we also raise funds for the food bank. Nearly dropped it.
Oh, that's amazing work. So the whole shop itself, and obviously the concept, is very different to a lot of other corner shops, and I think it's absolutely amazing. As I've been in a lot of it myself in the time, how hard was it to set up for maybe other people who are watching that might think, I've got a shop myself, it doesn't work, we're really struggling, and it might be a great idea for them to adapt in other areas of the country.
The thing is, what you've got to do is get strength from your local community. Our strength isn't ourselves, but it's the fact that we draw strength from all of these local producers that need a platform. And the thing is, you have a platform to actually provide. So try and contact your local, your local honey guy, your local milk, your local eggs, basically all of the local producers. And this is the part that I always have to reaffirm. A lot of people stop themselves utilizing local producers in their businesses because of differences in the pennies, basically. Things might be a little bit more expensive, but you have to remember, during these times, during the times that we're in at the moment, it's these local producers that have been able to give us bread, milk, and eggs. And the big farm, the big Arlas and the big corporates have struggled because they can't get enough to grassroots as fast as the local producers can.
Yeah, massively. It's been a massive difference between everything. It's worked really well. I know Darren's just said it sounds great, and it does.
Well, yeah, it's a cause very dear to my heart, because being someone that's used local producers for a long time, for the first year whilst we were at the shop and trying to do things a little bit differently, it was good. It was very fulfilling, but the attention wasn't as much. But during the times that we've had over the last sort of 6-8 weeks, I think people have realized all the more how important it is to use local producers, because you can get your bread freshly made at 4 o'clock, delivered to the local shop, and you just come and collect it. We've had locally made eclairs, locally made pastries, locally made sausage rolls. And the thing is, the whole point is that when you support a local producer, they also want to support you. So we've had Shutik, who actually has a stall in the shop once a week, and she does French pastries and things like that. And there have been times when I've sort of had to call and say, look, guys, Natalie, I really need some extra bits. Are you able to provide? And she's been like, yes, it's going to be difficult, but I'll get it to you by tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And you can't do that with a big producer. You can't have a bespoke order going in sort of maybe only 24 hours before and being delivered the next day.
Yeah, massively. I think it works really well and a really great concept, and it'd be great for other businesses to adapt something similar.
Yeah, of course. I think it's much needed. I think the point is that in current times and just generally as time goes on, we're going to become a little bit more closer to home. We're going to want to utilize local producers. In effect, practice the barter system. If people are making bread and people are producing eggs, there's a way of swapping if people are using each other's products.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been absolutely amazing. You showing us around the shop and all the different bits. And something you mentioned to me just before you went online is an interesting way on how you pick the products that go on your shelf.
So the only products that actually go in the shop is either if me and the missus actually like them. In most cases, we both like them. But in the event that one of us doesn't, there's normally a fight that ensues as to whether we should have it or not. And in most cases, I lose. And the missus always wins. But I think
it's always the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. So.
But it works well. It's a great concept, and I'd love other suppliers and companies to get involved in different ways and see if businesses can create something similar. I know David Lids in Liverpool has set up something similar where they're all coming together as a collective and they're delivering out that way.
Yeah.
But this sounds like another great concept, and it'd be great for other local communities to create something very similar to it.
Very much so.
But yeah, it's been great having you on board, and hopefully it creates a bit more business for you. And we all want everyone to shop local, so everyone have a little browse around the festival today. And thanks very much for everyone to join us.
Thank you very much.
Bye.